Greetings and salutations, my great friends. Today we have here a very big video, as you can see, and it's about Pretty Boytober. Now, Pretty Boytober is a prompt list I started back in 2020. It's a list with prompts to draw a pretty boy every day of the month of October, hence the name. October is approaching again, and I will make a list for 2022 as well. And I will be uploading a drawing on my social media every day. And I will probably do a video of the speed paints once a week as well. To celebrate it's coming again, I have a compilation for you here from the last year, Pretty Boytober, so 2021. It was on my old channel, but I moved it here. So it's not watchable there anymore, it's only here now. I couldn't finish 2021 due to, of course, Corona. So it's not the full month. I think it's probably only the half of it, maybe less. I don't even know anymore. The audio is still from last year, but I cut out the endings, so it is like one big video, you know? A new Pretty Boytober list will be uploaded somewhere the following weeks, so keep an eye on that. Anyone can join. You can also do the ones from last year if you like those more. There really are no rules to this, okay? Do whatever you want with the list. Go for it. I always have people asking like stuff about it, as if I would hunt you down if you quote unquote do it wrong. I'm not. Absolutely. Just draw pretty boys with the prompts. You know, use the hashtag Pretty Boytober, so I can see them. But that's just because I'm curious, because I want to see more pretty boys. But like, that's it. There's nothing more to it. Do as you want. Draw it the way you want. Anything. Go for it. Just do half. Just do a few. Combine things. Anything. Go for it. It's there are no rules. I'll explain more about it when I'm uploading the list. I will do so in my community tab as well, but also Instagram, Tumblr, DeviantArt maybe, I don't know anymore. But for now, here are the boys I drew last year, including past Looji's commentary. Enjoy the video. Chapters are in the description if you want to like skip some parts, because again, it is long, or maybe come back from time to time to watch parts of it, I don't know. Present day Looji, me, will be back at the end to thank my Patreons, because, well, that's what we do here. I always like to appreciate my Patreons. Please help the channel grow by liking, subscribing, commenting, that would be very much appreciated. And this intro is long enough. Sorry. Let's just go to the videos. Yes. Hi everyone, it is October, so you know what that means. It's Pretty Boytober. Now, Pretty Boytober is simply, I put a list together with prompts and then you draw a pretty boy for every day. Now, I always get questions like, can I join? Yeah, you can. It's do whatever you want with the list. It's not... I'm not gonna get mad or anything if you join or something. Be my guest. I love to see other boys. People often ask, oh, can I only do a few days or anything like that? It really, I don't do whatever you want with it. So now to get that out of the way, you're free to join. Doesn't matter what month. Doesn't matter if it's fan art. Doesn't matter if it's traditional. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. As long as you have fun with it, go for it. Anyway, the first prompt for October 1st was Diamant. Now, it's based on the fact that the theme of the list this year was Diamond. Don't ask me why. Diamonds are pretty, I guess. Last year it was a leaf. And I made these prompts 2 months ago or something, in hope that I would kind of forget about them, so it kind of would feel like a new thing for me when I started to draw. I was afraid that if I did it very close to October, I would already make a lot of stuff up in my mind, and that's not what I wanted. So, and I forgot most of these prompts, so that's great. Sometimes it's great to be not good with memory. Anyway, Diamond. For Diamond, I simply went with a guy that looks like a diamond, I guess. Kinda. Doing the liner here. Yeah, I didn't want to do too much work for every single character. So sometimes the line art is a bit rough. You can't really see it on screen, so I'm gonna understand people are like, how do you mean that's rough, blah, blah, blah. But for me, it is rough. It's not me saying that anything that is rougher than this is super rough or anything like that. It's just, I just want to get through the day at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have other stuff to do. I changed the colors just now because I gave him the exact colors of the logo, excluding the purple. Last year I did Pretty Boytober too. First day was Nerd Boy there, and I gave Nerd Boy the same colors as the logo as well. So this is something I like to do for things like that. And here are some blushes. Ooh, this is the beginning, and you can see that I thought to myself, oh, poses. We're gonna draw them. We're gonna do them. I'm psyched. We're gonna go for it. You will see later in the video that I kinda gave up on poses. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Maybe next week I'm feeling okay again and do some cool poses. Some shading. I try to do different shading than normal. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I guess I try to go for like diamond texture, but this is not diamond texture at all, so who cares? He has so much shading in his hair and a little bit in his outfit. I don't know. He has like very long sleeves that are also his shirts, I guess. He has a diamond on his ring, a diamond on his ear loop, some white highlights, and some kind of sparkles. And I tried to put those sparkles in every single piece this year. I tried to do like the same kind of techniques in every piece as well. So you're gonna see me try looking at the older stuff for a lot of these drawings because I keep forgetting how and what I'm drawing. And oh, there he is. And now it's the second day, and that day is poof, moon. There was the only one I kind of had an idea for because I have this design series called Zodiac Princess, and what it basically is that every single thing in the sky, there's a word for that in English, but I forgot it. Everything in the sky is like a characterization, and the main ones are of course the zodiacs. So those are like 12 princes, and but there are also other star signs, but also stars themselves are characters, blah blah blah. And I needed a moon. I still needed a moon, and I drew the moon here. So he's also part of the Zodiac Prince series. If you want to see the Zodiac Prince series, you can click in the little eye thingy in the corner. It's a lot of cool. Cool. I don't want to say cool on my own designs. I really liked designing them, and I'm really a lore nerd. It's about like lore of the constellation, so I really like it. And here we have a hand. Don't let his hand fool you, by the way. I just had a great hand day today, I guess. Well, not the greatest hand day, but like it worked. I didn't have to make tons of more sketches, and that's usually I have to do that. And here are his glasses. Of course, the glasses are inspired by the full moon. Just 2 full moons on his face. It's not that. It's not that special. Yeah, so I really wanted to talk in these videos because that's what people always ask. They say that they find it easier to watch these videos if someone is talking along with them, and I get that. But I do hope you know that I'm gonna have to talk for like 30 minutes, 37 minutes in this video, and I'm wishing you good luck because I don't know anyone who wants to listen to me for like 10 minutes, let alone 37. But we're gonna go for it. Sometimes I don't know what to say, and then I will just don't do a lot. You could say that I could write a script. However, if I write a script, not only do I sound kind of fake, also I don't have time for that right now. Like I need to do more than just Boytober this month. and I can't write scripts every week for like 40 minutes. I'm very sorry. I hope you can forgive me. But I'm gonna walk you through the steps, kinda. Sometimes it's gonna be a bit boring, but hey. Do you prefer... Yeah, I already asked this, but I want to hear it from you as well, you watcher. Do you prefer me talking, or do you rather have the silent speed paints? Love to hear it. Love to hear any kind of stuff for my videos, so I can maybe improve. That's the goal this year. He kind of looks cross-eyed, or Moon. I guess his name is Moon, by the way. Moon kind of looks cross-eyed here. I'm gonna fix that later, so don't worry. I gave him kind of like yellow pale skin because he, of course, is the moon. So I want him wanted his skin to be the moon. That's the thing with the whole Zodiac Princess series, that their skin is always a direct representation of what they are. That's why the Zodiac Princes are blue, and all the other star signs as well, because they're in the night sky. They're blue and they have white dots. Those are like sparkles, other stars, I guess. And stars themselves are yellow or red or blue, depending on what kind of star they are. So, and that's why I gave this guy a yellow U. I'm putting some spots here as well because of the craters on the moon. And I'm doing some lovely shading. As you can see, I am referencing the diamond painting from the first prompt a lot, because again, I kept forgetting what I did for everything, and I'm one of those people that want everything the same way. I'm kinda a perfectionist, only when it comes to art. All the other stuff, I'm not. Like, you don't want to see me cook, but I'm giving it some shading. If I did like a different line art brush, I know I would be so irritated by it. Oh, that's my favorite part of his whole design, is his highlight in his hair. It's shaped as a bunny to, of course, mimic the bunny in the moon story. In a Western, it's a man in the moon, I think, and in Eastern, they see a bunny, which in my opinion is cuter than a man. Well, I think men are really cute too, don't worry, but the man in the moon himself is not really, yeah. And he is already the man, and he also needs a bunny. Ha! And there he is, that's the end. I'm spelling moon and put it there. Boop! Flumpy! There is the next one, and the next one is night. At first, I thought maybe a representation of the night, a personification of the night. You know I love my personification. But then I realized that sometimes I need to be a basic bitch. Sometimes I need to look at myself and know what I am. And that's what I did. I just made a vampire. Not very creative. But it's not creative Pretty Boytober. It's just Pretty Boytober. And as long as it's a pretty boy, I'm doing well. I'm doing good. Hey, I don't know if... Do vampires have ears like that? I don't even know. I just really like elfin ears. You don't see his teeth, so we don't know if he has fangs. But he's wearing a cape, and that's what vampires do sometimes. So he's a vampire, done. Most of these characters I will be drawing this month are made up on the spot. Like, I'm making a design as well, because I really like character design. And so they don't have a name. He was made on the spot. However, the Discord chat someone asked me, like, what is his name? I couldn't give them an answer, but the Discord chat knew right away his name should be Vincent. So therefore, his name is Vincent. Or was it Victor? Oh my, I don't even know anymore. I think it was Victor. It was Victor, not Vincent. Doesn't matter, maybe it's both his names, Victor, Vincent. I find it fitting. If you have any suggestions of any other names for all the other characters, feel free to tell me. Feel free to put them down below. Love to hear them. Maybe someday I will draw them again, and then I can address them by name. I made some characters for last year's Pretty Boytober. I remade them again. Like, I made full bodies. Maybe I'm gonna do with some of these boys as well. Who knows? I don't really know what I do with art anymore, so I can't really give you great promises. Look at Juliana's hair. Isn't that lovely? He's a fancy vampire. An absolutely fancy vampire. I, most of the time, am not very good at profiles. However, I kind of like how this profile turned out, so I'm happy with that. Oh, again, a given color. His skin is kind of purpley, which, yes, is because of the count. And I will credit my inspiration. And now I'm trying some red and black. Normally, I don't like red and black at all. But then I tried to color my hair a few days ago, and I wanted it to be red. So I bought red dye. And my hair is like dark on top, and then in my neck it's light. And the black part didn't really caught up the red dye as I hoped. So my hair now is black and red, which at first I really didn't like at all. But then I realized I kind of look like Shadow the Hedgehog now. So I'm just gonna rock it. I'm just gonna go for it. So I need to live my emo fantasy at one point. I didn't do it when I was a teenager. Might as well do it now. But as you can see, I eventually didn't do the red and black color scheme because, again, I just don't like it. I'm sorry, my hair. I just don't like it. I like my hair, don't worry. It's just in color schemes, in character designs, except for Shadow the Hedgehog, I don't like it. So I made it purple. Purple is kind of color of the night, right? I think it's the darkest color, kinda. So next to black. His hair is of course black. I'm putting some glitters in there, yes, and some white lines. I really like to put white lines everywhere. It makes it really nice. I put some glitters there as well. I put some texture on it, and then we already are done with the third prompt, night. Let's go to the next prompt, shall we? Come on, yes. And that prompt is play. Now for play, I really wanted to use a word that could be interpreted as multiple things. It could be a playboy. It could be someone playing a game. It could be a playful person, or how I interpreted it as a play, as in theater. So I drew this guy, and he is a character design I made a year ago, I think, or 2 years. I did share him at one point, however, that was a very long time ago. So when I shared this guy on social media and people actually recognized him, I was kind of surprised. I didn't thought people would actually recognize him. So it was fun. He is a character I used for Dungeons and Dragons. He's a bard, and he wears a lot of masks with him. The one on his head is a bunny mask, like a crying bunny mask, and there are other emotions and characters as well. And his thing is that he performs plays with those masks, like one-man shows, together with his instrument, which is a pipa. It's a Chinese instrument. It's a really cool instrument. However, I was also told that it's, I think, Norwegian for pussy. So I hope Norwegians watching this are having a blast by me saying pussy a lot. Or pipa. But pipa is a Chinese instrument, so I kind of was inspired by Chinese garments when designing his whole outfit. There's a speed paint of this, by the way. Oh, I now realize I made a speed paint of designing him. I'm gonna link it in a corner here. You can see me designing him on the spot. He's one of my favorite character designs I ever made. I really like his colors. So if you could check that out, would be great. I'm making his eye now, really bright and bright. Whoop! So this guy I used for Dungeons and Dragons. Now I played him, and he was very fun to play roleplay wise, because he's just a big idiot. He doesn't really have much going on. He has some kind of middle child issues. I think he was a middle child of like 14 children, and no one even noticed that he was touring the world doing plays. He had some daddy issues as well, but overall he was just a very big idiot. You know, when playing him, I kind of gave him like the dude voice I should do. But I noticed that I did not like playing Barts, which is not my style. So I am unfortunately not really playing him anymore. However, I am absolutely interested in drawing him more because, again, he's one of my favorite designs I ever made. So you will definitely see him more. But yeah, I played him in D&D, and that was not the most fun. Again, roleplay wise, yes, because I like role-playing as an idiot. That's nice. I don't have to do a whole lot different from my usual personality, so that was kind of fun. I'm doing his hair now. His color scheme is really the thing I love the most about him. I'm doing highlights. The highlights in the hair, I really wanted to do different for every character that kind of fits with the theme or with the personality. You'll see more later on, but he doesn't necessarily have something that fits him. I just went for a more square-like thing. Oh, the next one. I didn't finish that one. Doesn't matter. The next prompt is, at which day are we? 5? Yeah. Experiment. So for experiment, I went for a guy that's been experimented on. Again, you could interpret this as many other things, and that's great. That's what I wanted to do with these prompts. And I kind of went for like someone who went crazy because of it. Now, as I said before, I didn't want to spend too much time on every prompt, and that is also why this one looks like it does. I don't hate this drawing. However, I do want you all to not comment on the fact that he has really tiny baby hands. You will see it later on. It's there. It kind of is like cut off, so maybe we can make up the story that it's like a woman's hand that was attached to his body, but it's like a teeny hand, so we're just gonna like ignore it. Some people have tiny, maybe he just has tiny hands, who knows? Maybe he does. He is putting his finger in his mouth, who knows? I don't even know. I kind of wanted to give him cool teeth here. I don't know, maybe from experiments he gets different teeth. I really don't know with this one. I really don't know. Don't even ask me how his suit works. Don't, because I do not know, and honestly, I do not care. He's my least favorite this week. Sorry. I'm very sorry. Fight me, okay? Fight me. Anyway, I gave him some pretty braids. I really like his hair though. I do really like his hair. It's like one big braid and it goes over his forehead, like a headband. And it's all very roughed and frizzy, which I really like. I think his hairstyle does fit with his personality, so I do like that part. But other than that, why is it standing still? Oh, okay. Go on, I guess. There we have more of the hair. His hair is way more than the other hair. I think this guy took me the longest. I'm gonna check in the timeline. Yeah. No. The next one took me the longest. I see now. This one took me the longest after him. Together with Moon. Talk about names. Again, give him a name. Do it. It will be fun. And I would be thankful because me and names, don't do that. It's hard. I find it difficult. You don't usually do that. Putting a nose there. Eyes. I'm drawing one eye and then I'm copying it, ain't I? Yeah. Leave me alone. That's nice. It's this digital and I can do whatever I want. I wanted him to have these very thin eyebrows. I don't know, maybe he plucks them himself. Who knows? He's a crazy fella, you know? one of his crazy suits I put on him as well. And his hair is gonna be, I think it was pink. I don't even know what it looks like anymore. And I wanted him to have like green flesh, things like that. Oh yeah, so I guess his forehead is also from someone else. And there is the little hand is getting color finally. I first tried to put like a scar there to show that maybe like they experimented on his brain through that hole or something, but it didn't really look great, and it wasn't going well. So I put 2 bandages there. I think it looks nice. It gives it a little bit more color, other than just the colors is going on now. So now some shadow. I myself have scars as well from a surgery. That was the one I kind of was mimicking on his forehead. I have 2 on my hip. I had a hip surgery. So years ago, I think 5 years ago, let's say 5. So I kind of tried doing that. And I'm always very lazy when it comes to finding references. Because, well, I don't do it. I don't like looking at references a lot. It just takes too much time, in my opinion. That's why my arts journey is going so slowly. Doesn't matter. Sometimes you just have to be lazy. So I prefer just thinking about stuff I see in real life, and that's what the scar thing came from. I just thought, oh, I know a scar, my own. And I tried it, but it didn't look good. Too bad. Here are some more highlights. As the week goes on, and probably the month too, you will see that I'm putting more highlights on characters as we go. I kind of really like it. At first, I didn't really like to do a lot of highlights, but yeah, sometimes it's fun, and I put a lot of here, and it's fun. Great commentary, anyway. And giving his 2 colored eyes, of course, makes it seem like, oh, is one eye not his? Putting some striking blue line art. Every line art here is just 1 color, because I couldn't be bothered by doing colored line art. Usually I really like it, but it was a bit too much again. But I also really like, again, this blue line art. It's really cool. I really like the addition of it. Good job, Past Lois. What are we doing? Oh, the next one is pure. And at first didn't know what to do here. At first we're maybe going to do an angel. That's pure. But last year I did an angel. So I wanted to do something new. Something different. And I knew that if there's one thing that's really pure in this world, at least in my opinion, it's a child. So I drew a child. Childs can be pretty. Children. It can be pretty. Maybe I'm gonna draw like a grown-up version of this kid at one point as well. So we kind of get that as well. So it can really be a pretty boy. Because I don't really feel comfortable saying that this little boy is really pretty. I guess in a way that you can see like, oh, he's gonna grow up fine. Maybe in that way. Right? But in this stage, then I, as an adult, will not say he's attractive. I'm very sorry for everyone who really wanted this to be a really thirsty video. We can not at this point. I don't know how old he is. I don't know how old children are. Like, I think maybe he's 8, maybe he's 6. I don't know. Sometimes a kid is like, hi, I'm 12. And I thought to myself, I thought you were 8. So it's really hard. I wanted him to have a self-made necklace, which the inspiration for that was actually very specific. I was watching some videos of Ninja. Ninja is internationally known as Miffy, I think. I'm gonna put in a screen if I mispronounced it or if it's a different name. I think her name is Miffy. She's a little rabbit. She's from the Netherlands. She's kind of like our mascot. I love her. And I was watching videos of her, as you do, as a 24-year-old alone at Saturday night. And one video of her was where she would visit the Princess Maxima Center, which is a hospital here in the Netherlands for little kids with cancer. I know it's gonna be emotional. It was so cute. And the kids all had like little necklaces with beads on them. And every time they would get an experiment, not an experiment done, but like some kind of therapy, you know, things like that, they had to visit a doctor, they would get a bead for a necklace. And I thought it was so cute. It was like they were so happy with it. It was all animated, by the way. Like it was like little bears getting these necklaces, so it was not like real kids. And that kind of inspired me to give this guy a little necklace. I don't think he has an illness as well, because I don't want to make things negative here. But it was a direct inspiration because it was like the cutest video I have ever saw. It's been on my mind for like a week now, and I just had to put it somewhere, or else it was not gonna go well. I have to express those feelings at some point. Anyway, here's a big mouth, a big grin, because he's happy. This kid is happy. Let me make that clear. This is a happy kid. This is not like an emotional kid. And he's very happy. I put a bandage on his nose. I never saw someone in real life with a bandage on his nose. Only in anime. But that's alright. That's good enough for me. We're gonna go for it. Putting some lashes there. Eyes like these, they're very hard, at least for me, because sometimes they just look like crazy eyes. There's a fine line between big happy eyes and crazy eyes. And so I kind of had a struggle with that. But I still think his eyes are kind of crazy. But some kids are crazy, dude. So it's totally fine. As I said before, this drawing took me the longest. And it might be my favorite after the next one. Because I just really like kids. In like a mom way, let me just say that. Before anyone's gonna say some weird shit. I really like children. I really would like to have them at one point. Honestly, people always tell me like I have this, my dream is this for my business, or I want to become this, and like I totally support you, you go for it. The only thing I want to be, if I'm being honest, is just like I want to be a mom. I want to be a mom. I want to stay home. Stay home mom. That's like the dream. That's my dream. And I could still draw when I'm at home, you know. Unfortunately, I still need to convince a man to get this dream working out. But we're doing something, right? We're doing something. I make his shirt here, and I kind of wanted that to be like this glossy material. I can't really explain it. It's like those, like, I think basketball journey. It's not, you do not pronounce it basketball. Wait, basketball? Basket? I don't know. The one with the ball. The orange ball. Baseball is not baseball. Basketball? I have no idea. It's what like Troy Bolton played in High School Musical. And every single other teenage boy in any American high school show, movie, ever. Here are his highlights, and I made his highlights really like round and dreamlike to mimic his fun personality. I thought it was kind of like nice. I think it is. This one took me really long to highlight. I started with it and I was like, what am I doing? But it was too far in. I couldn't stop anymore, so this is what I did. And it kind of looks like fun highlights. I'm doing his eyes here. I really wanted him to have bright blue eyes because his eyes kind of reminded me of a cat as well. And I really like it when cats have like a really nice dark coat and then big blue or yellow eyes. And here are the glitters. Oh, the glitters. They are made by hand, by the way. Sometimes I get a question if there's a special brush for that. It's not. Because kind of sloppy, the glitters. But, you know, you have to do what you have to do. And here's the last one. Oh, we're already like 30 minutes in. I hope you had a great time listening to my voice while we're doing the last one, which is dreams. Ooh. I had no idea what to do with this one. I wanted to... First I thought maybe I'm gonna do the man of my dreams. That's a great one. But then I remembered one of the prompts is beast. So we'll get there. We'll get there. We're gonna get there. So I kind of made like this guy whose hair is kind of like a cloud of dreams, I guess. That's kind of what I was going for. I made his ears pointy because if the ears aren't pointy, is it really a fun character? That's my question. His hair, I don't know if it's actually hair or if it's like more like clouds, because it didn't really give it actual hair texture. And I put it everywhere. This drawing is mostly hair. I kind of gave him like an outfit, but honestly that could also just be a scarf. It could be anything. I was thinking about making him naked, but then I really wanted to have at least one more element in the drawing, so I gave him kind of like this toga thingy on the bottom. I'm drawing the mouth millions of times because sometimes I don't know how to draw mouths. There are his eyes. I am copying it again because I will. Yeah, his face was a bit too broad in my opinion, so I had to redo some lines. That's what you get for sketching really fast and not really looking if everything is correct, which is me all the time. My sketching phase is very rough and very fast, and some people have a second sketching phase. I don't. It's just my liner is kind of my second sketching phase. I'm making the colors now, and at first really wanted to go with more pastel colors, but then I threw in this orange here, and then I kind of changed it, and now it's still pastel, but as you can see later on, not now. Oh, I thought we're gonna do it now. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna darken it at one point, which makes it like really cool colors in my opinion. A color scheme I normally never used. Like here it is. Bam! I like it. It's kind of like a horizon, but also not. And I think it's cool. I like these colors a lot. I think this guy is my favorite of this week. Or Pure, because I really liked his expression. What is your favorite? What is your favorite this week? I would love to hear it. Or if you're joining yourself, I would love to hear what your favorite prompt was drawing this week. I would love to hear it. I think that's my favorite part of the whole October Pretty Boytober thing, is that I can see other people draw really pretty boys. It's great. It's absolutely great. Here I'm shading the hair. I'm gonna go crazy with the highlights again, by the way, just so you know. I really liked it. I'm making a more square, like, because at first I wanted to do the rounder highlights like I did with the previous one, the Pure Boy, but I wanted to do a bit more variation in the shape, so I made it all square-like, and there we go. Don't ask me if there's like a theory, reasoning, or anything behind the highlights. Not at all. I just put shapes and I'm just going with it. If you're confident in your lines, no one's gonna question you. I think people are gonna question these highlights. Doesn't matter. It's just fun. I'm using the word fun a lot in this great voiceover, as you can hear. If at any point you think, God, she's really annoying, I don't like to hear her anymore, I suggest using the mute button and just put on some great tunes of your own. You can still watch the video. I suggest watching the video at least 10 times. I also suggest not skipping the advertisements for the full experiment, but yeah, that's just me. Hey everyone, I'm so glad you're watching for this second week of Pretty Boytober. It's a party, it's an absolute party, and we're drawing more pretty boys. And the first prompt this week was speed. Now, my first impulse was of course to draw Sonic the Hedgehog, but I didn't. I thought, let's just go for some kind of like superhero, kind of like the Flash, I guess, but that's why I didn't make him red. Spoilers, I made him more purple, you know, because I thought that's not a because blue would be Sonic and red would be the Flash, so I just went for purple. As you can see, I'm doing the line art here. I also gave him nice poofy hair, which actually is a great gateway to a topic I wanted to discuss. At first, I didn't know if I wanted to do Pretty Boytober again this year, and that was because of last year. Some people were very annoying. I don't know why, but somehow, there were people who thought, well, the reason she's drawing pretty boys, that means that every kind of boy she doesn't draw in those 30 days, she only likes 30 types of boys, all the others she finds ugly and awful. And you probably think that's a really weird way to think, and I thought so too, but those people didn't. I actually got messages like, why don't you draw this body type, why don't you draw this eye type, why don't you draw this specific hair color, skin color, eye color, all that kind of stuff. Ridiculous, I know. I just draw fun designs that I think are fun. This is not my opinion on people. Again, I find it a very weird way of thinking, but you know, that's the internet nowadays. The thing with Pretty Boytober is that you can draw any boy, because any boy is a pretty boy. We love every type of boy here, okay? Pretty is just a nice word, but every boy is pretty if you think about it, because pretty is what you think it is. So this is like a challenge to say, hey, look at this pretty boy. So I haven't got those comments yet, or DMs, because yeah, they also came in my DMs. I also think that's because the exposure of Pretty Boytober on my YouTube channel this year is significantly smaller than last. My channel is still suffering through the algorithm fever, as I like to call it, because of how it was, how my channel was hidden a few months ago. So maybe that's it now. Only like nice people come, because those are my subscribers. You know, most people who watch my videos are my subscribers, and you guys are all nice. So now it doesn't happen, so I'm very happy about that. And now we're just drawing boys. Look at him. He's like kind of like he's a cartoony boy. I kind of went for samey, not like real, but I kind of went for Boku no Hero Academia vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of went like some hero who's fast at running. Is there a hero in my Hero Academia that's fast? I can't come up with one right away. But then again, I don't know. I do watch it, but I don't know every single hero on top of my head. I know some people's gonna be, how do you dare to not remember insert hero's name? Oh, I'm doing some highlights. I'm trying to make every single character have like different highlights. It doesn't always work out, by the way, you will see that later. And of course, I gave this man some nice stars. I guess his theme is stars and thunder, which, you know, it can be a thing. I'll give him some line art, some white, nice highlights, some glitter here and there, and then we already are done with our first pretty boy. I'm doing the final stuff. And now I'm speed, and there we go. And now we have the second one, which is Shade. And Shade is a character, or at least like this one I'm drawing, is a character I already designed years ago. I had this game project at school, I'm gonna say 4 years ago. But if you know me, you know time is like an illusion to me. Anyway, it was this 3D platformer game puzzle thing where the main character could erase shadows, and if you erase shadows, the mass would like react to it. So if you like have a pole and you erase part of the shadow, the pole would fall apart. To explain it a bit in an easy way. And I was in charge of character design, and I made this character design. It was not the final character design we used. We eventually used a different one, and eventually, because it was just a game project, you're like with people and you just have to give everyone a task. But eventually, of course, the game itself, I think the game designer himself did go through with it, and he eventually used way different characters, and I think it does the amazing game mechanic way more justice, so that's totally fine. But here was that character design I really liked. It eventually, again, was not the one they used, because the game was 3D and it was not very 3Dable. But I do really like this design. I actually really like the picture I drew for it as well. It's not that pretty as a pretty boy, but again, Stickman can also be pretty. Let's be real. He shows not much skin, not much design. Actually, it's pretty easy design, but again, I kind of really like it. His eyes glow like diamonds or crystals. That was like the concept. It grows like it glue like crystals, as well as the big broom he was holding, because crystals were the only thing that could erase shadows or something. That was like in the lore. I don't even know anymore. I was also in charge of the lore, but it's all in the past. It's all in the past. I gave him some shadows here, lots of shadows, because it is shade. I did put shade behind speed. I think it wasn't intentional, but I think my brain, my heart was like, Sonic and Shadow, which again makes Sonic and Shadow, or at least Shadow the Hedgehog, a topic in one of these videos. Great. Last little things, like his glowing eyes, you see that? And then we're gonna just, this one wasn't very, a lot of stuff going on. And now we have love. Ooh. And for love, I immediately really wanted to do like an obsessed boy. Like he's obsessed with you. Yeah, you should be scared. I was going for he watches you sleep. You know what I'm saying? And I always upload these pictures with like no context. As much as I can, no context. So just so I can see what people like think off the bat. Like not what I, tell them. And someone immediately was like, I'm scared of him. I'm like, yes. Thank you. Some people thought he was cute, which I guess is a thing. Didn't mean that, but you know what? Thank you for him. The thing, that vibe I kind of was going for with this dude was ASMR boyfriends. Do you guys know that one? It's like it's the greatest thing on the internet nowadays. It's these videos where voice actors will like role play as your boyfriend and also do ASMR, and they will like talk to you through a video, and it always has like a weird theme, because just normal boyfriends are boring, and I kind of went for that. It's the greatest videos on the internet. I know that I don't enjoy them as they are intended to be enjoyed, but like I get such a high out of listening to these things and then tell my roommate the plot as if it's a very serious video. It's very amazing. And that's kind of what I went for here. It's like, ooh, yandere boyfriend watches you sleep, ASMR, 18 plus, Patreon version. That's what I was going for. So that was a dream. Talking about dreams, that's the ultimate dream. Making pretty boys, and that my art someday will be used in one of these amazing roleplay videos. That's the ultimate dream. Like, steal my art, I don't care, use it for it. You don't even have to ask my permission. I would like to know, just so I can like be proud of my accomplishments. Absolutely, it's amazing things on the internet. I'm doing some eyes here. Of course I copied the eyes, because leave me alone. I made his little pupils little hearts because he's so in love with you. Yes, you. He's in love with you. That's canon now. I make him have a very normal outfit because I think his face was already like crazy enough. I went for total stereotype on this one, by the way. Lovesick boy. So what does he wear? Pink. What is his hair? Kinda pink. His eyes? Psych, bitch. It's also pink. Hearts in the eyes. In the highlights as well. You will see that later on. Again, full stereotype, but I love it. It kind of looks like he can be the school president boy thing. And then he's actually crazy. Wow, that's the plot. That's the exact plot. And that's used in a lot of things because it works. Also, I'm shading here, and I just want to give you a fair warning. If you ever think in this video, hey, when is she gonna shade the vest he's wearing? Never. I forgot about it. I don't know why. I just didn't do it. And it wasn't until like days later I found that out. So it's like too late to change it. So his vest is unshaded. I guess his vest also isn't shaded. That's another thing. Look, his highlights are hearts. I'm very creative. Now we're gonna shade his. Oh, we're already there. Well, God, that went fast. But I really like this one. He looks pretty crazy in my opinion. Also, yes, I misspelled love. I was very tired that day. That is fixed in the like potential one. Now the next prompt is hate. And I kinda, like, ooh, love, and the next one should be hate. It's a theme that you're gonna see in these prompts later on too. And I didn't know what to do for him at all. I'm just gonna do an aggressive boy that looks like he hates at least like something or someone. That's the goal. And I made his hair kind of puffy, but with long hair, because why not? And yeah, it's a very quick sketch. I always sketch in blue. I honestly don't know why. It's a habit that I just made mine, I guess. And if I have to do like hair or something, I do red. I don't. And then after that, I do green. It's just a rule I have. It's very specific. Ow, he has a buckle on his neck. I use the what is it called? The Pser tool. Pser. I am not English. I think you can already tell. But it's like a ruler, but it's a circle. It's the handiest thing Paint Tool SAI 2 has to offer. I absolutely love it. I cannot live without it. Every time I need a circle for shit, I'm using that tool. It's amazing. It's very nice. And they also have like a straight ruler. I never use that one. I can't remember when I used that one. But the circle one, he's my best friend. My absolute best friend. We are BFFs. And I love him. Doing his hair now. I really want to do like very unkept frizzy hair. Well, not frizzy, I guess, but it's like wild. That's the better word. Like, ooh, wild. You know what I'm saying? And now his gracious ponytail. Nice long hair. Because it's just really nice to have long hair. I just really like long hair on character designs. Because I just think hair is the most fun thing to draw. Oh, yeah. So for some reason, don't ask me why, at this point I was like, okay, but what if I do like a head? Out of nowhere, I don't know why. I told you before, in the video before this, in week 1, check it out by the way, that I do not look up references because I'm very lazy when it comes to that. So what I did was I just put my hand like in front of my face and tried to like do that. It looks kind of okay. I'm gonna be honest, it looks better than I expected. However, it's probably not very accurate. But if it looks okay, I mean, nothing in this boy is very accurate if you think about it. So I'm okay with that.
Oh, now he has eyebrows. I wanted to exaggerate that he was like angry, so I made his eyebrows black so you can really like see them. And then we have first I make everything blue. This is sometimes a question I get, by the way, to make sure that every single pixel is reached. And I always do blue because I find it a very easy color to like see. You can of course use any other color, but I only use blue. It's the same thing why I sketch in blue. It's just a habit I have that I will not give up because I'm very into those things, you know, like that's my thing. Skip to like years later where I suddenly sketch in red and use the color yellow to fill everything in. Oh yeah, another thing I suddenly thought doing, if you thought the hand wasn't enough, I suddenly thought to myself, what if he has a tattoo? What if he has a tattoo? At first I tried to do scales with hand, and then I realized that I was an idiot. So I did like flat scales, and then later on I put that on top of, yeah, like I do here. It's very flat, but I really like the look of a pattern being flat on a piece of clothing or something. I actually really like that. It's not accurate in the slightest, but I don't know, it gives me kind of like this cutout idea that I actually find very charming. Oh, and now I'm doing the little feet of the dragon. I guess it's a dragon. At first I was like, I want it to be a snake, but then I was like, no, I need it to be like a weird animal. What if it's a chameleon, but it's very long and has multiple limbs? And then I realized that's basically what a dragon is. So so I just went for a dragon. More parts underneath. His tattoo artist probably had like work cut out for him with his whole arm like that. I bet he had money to do so. Now we're gonna do some shading. The little spot you see on screen, like I put like a little purple spot, that's the color I used to shade him. So I made a separate layer on top of the skin. I put the layer mode on multiply, and then I used that color. I think I used that color for a lot of colors here, for a lot of shading. Not on the red. The purple technique, I will call it like that right now, is handy on almost every single color except red. Red does not pick up multiply as well as all the other colors for some reason. Oh, and now I'm doing some highlights. These are the easiest highlights by far. I thought I took it. That stupid dragon took so long. I made that hand out of nowhere. I'm gonna give him very easy highlights because I'm also done with this. I did make his hair line art a lighter color so it could be seen a bit better. And that's it, folks. I almost messed up that quote there. A little bit of white here and there, some glitters. The glitters are very nice. Oh, and of course smoke, because he smokes, because that's he hates his lungs, I guess. Maybe that's his true intention. Some shading, some back shadow thing. Oh, and the next one already. This one is travel. And travel, I decided to do a character I already have, because I thought to myself, I'm gonna make this a bit easier, you know, I don't have too much time for this prompt, I'm gonna make it a bit easier. But then, as you can see, I decided, why not do like a horse? As if that's gonna make it easier. What you will also see is that his face took me the longest, and that's solely because my sketch is very cartoony. Because I was like, Future Lois is gonna fix this, you know, I'm just gonna, that's the sketch, and the line art Lois will absolutely nail it, and we can go on, because I was kind of impatient today, or that day. Well, I guess I'm also impatient today, because it's a mood that never will leave me. But yeah, his face is that, and then I thought maybe I'm gonna do it again, start over. No, I didn't. I continued, because not only was I impatient, I also was very salty towards this drawing for some reason. And I thought, no, one eye, maybe that will help. help this weird face, and I put all the, like both eyes on separate layers. I put the eyebrows on separate layers just so I can move it around a lot, which you will see a lot in this speed paint. In this part of the speed paint. Moving his eyebrows around, another one of his eyes. I did it wrong, so I have to like. Again, this was like, ooh. Do you see the old face? Again, it's a trip, this one, and I went for some more things. I think now this is the final phase, which still isn't the best phase, but you have to go through at one point, and also. You don't things doesn't have to be perfect. This is not me like saying please compliment this face because I'm very insecure about it. That's absolutely not what it is. This is not my proudest face, but I wouldn't say I had joy making this, but no, not every drawing needs to be me proving to the world what I can do. You know what I'm saying? I had fun. Haven't drawn this character for a very long time, so I guess the joy can be held from that, I guess. Talking about the character, this character name is Dane. I shared him before on my community page. He's a very old character design because I vividly remember years ago thinking to myself, I want to have a character with pink hair. Period. That was what I wanted. That was it. Nothing more, nothing less. And I made him. He had like a scarf, And then I thought, why not give him a horse? It didn't plan it very well. He still isn't very well planned character. He belongs to the world of Galea. I talked about this before. That's where most of my characters come from. It's a world building project I've been doing for years now just to entertain myself, solely the purpose for that. Maybe someday it's gonna be like official novel or comic, but I'm not gonna give you promises. The world of Galea kind of has like this Arabian, Egyptian, I wouldn't say Egyptian, but it has inspiration of those kind of clothing. So they're all kind of very exotic, let's say that. And I really like this. Everything I like in character designs thrown into one world building project, because that's just what I like. It's just a project to like keep me busy, happy, and motivated, which is not always the case, but still. Here we go. We're gonna give the horse a little color. And his horse name, by the way, is Steve, which is for them a very exotic, cool foreign name, which I thought was quote unquote hilarious. I made this up when I was like 17. Leave me alone. Anyway, Dane here has some nice little freckles on his face. He has some shading, which everyone has on his face. I made some patterns for his bandana and his clothing. If you can see in the full picture, full design, that he has a stomach tattoo. And that stomach tattoo is actually like a round design. And that design also was used for another character in the same world, because I really wanted to show that was like a very common tattoo. It's like an anchor with mom on it. Like that's what I was kind of going for. However, that character who also had the round tattoo now has a different tattoo. He has like cool flowers and stuff. So I don't know if I'm still gonna use the round design for this character. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. His full design is still a work in process, but then again, that's every single design I ever make. Ever. Anyway, now we're gonna do the face again. The hair, I do some highlights later on, which I actually really like. I try to do different highlights for every single character. We're still going strong. After this, we won't. But yeah, I tried to do some kind of like G shape, I guess. Kind of like a fancy little frill. I can't speak English that well. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I thought it was really cool. I actually really liked this. One of my favorite highlight design. I actually kind of I came up with it on the spot. English. I also gave it $2. Again, my thought process of thinking there's gonna be a quick one, and then his face was a totally disaster, and then I thought, let's draw 2 characters. Let's also do a whole ass horse, which made it also longer than expected. So this was not what I expected it was gonna be, aka a quick little one. It wasn't at all. That was travel. Next one up is home, which, again, with the theming of love and hate, this is the opposite of travel. You travel and then you come home. I was not feeling home. I had no idea for home. So I made the easiest drawing out of all of them at this point. Like the first 2 weeks, all of them kind of had something going on. This one doesn't. He's very easy. I like a sweater, but more in a I want it for my own kind of way, not in a design kind of way. Which is also very different things, by the way. A lot of people sometimes confuse them. Like, just because it looks good on a human doesn't mean it's great character design. They're very different things. So, I guess this is not a great character design. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I gave him tea, I guess, like steamy thing. I don't drink tea myself. If I ever get like a big mug and I drink out of it, I don't know if you will ever see me doing that in the wild, but it will probably have soup in it. Like nice tomato soup, or maybe some tomato paprika soup. Oh, maybe some, like those little toadstools soup. Champignons. Delicious. I gave him some curly hair because I was not very creative for this prompt. I was just not feeling it. I didn't know what to do with it home. I could complain like who made up these prompts, but it was me. I don't know what to do at home. And then on the internet I saw amazing people doing some really cute stuff at home, by the way. So I guess other people had a better time. They were like people like on their own, like gaming. It was a very nice homey feeling. And I guess this one also has a homey feeling in a way, but I could have done better. But who cares? Making it blue first, or purple, by the way. Sometimes people think it's purple, sometimes people think it's blue. Colors are still a mystery to me. His teeth are not correct. I'm just gonna point it out right away. Doesn't matter. Again, not every drawing needs to be me proving what I can do. Sometimes, most of the time, it's just me enjoying myself. I'm a very selfish artist. I'm also a drawer at points, I guess. Some shading for the nice sweater. People ask me what was on his mug. I wish I could tell you something very like cool and that I was like very clever, but I wasn't. It said I love tea. I don't know, it should have been like a cool thing, or maybe best dad in the world. He kind of looks like a dad. I think for all the characters I've drawn so far, I had to give someone the dad title. It would be this one. Oh yeah, I tried to do like this bubble kind of highlight. It did not work out, so I did this one, which kind of mimics the smoke coming from his well, not smoke, it's more steam coming from his cup of tea, which is the same one, kind of like the Pure Boy from last week. So this one isn't very creative, but I think you can already understand that I was not feeling this one very well. So there wasn't really a bone in my body that cared at this point. But I don't hate this drawing. I absolutely don't hate this drawing. I think it's I think it says home. Of course, it also says home because of the little title in the corner. But I think he gives off the home feeling. Okay. Oh well enough. Here we have flight, which again is kind of like, ooh, I travel or I am home. How do I go to these places? I flight. I fly. I went for a pilot. It wasn't very creative, but no, you know what? It is creative. It is creative in a way that it's fun. I just don't want to tear anyone down who also made a pilot. You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm saying, that pilot is really not creative, and then someone else also made a pilot. Like that's mean. I don't want to do that. So, and besides, like a pilot is a very fun character design trope, I think, because you can put a lot of design tropes in there, but it's also creatively enough that you can put your own things in there. I like this one. I actually really like this one. I gave him this really nice straight hair, I guess. I think, is it called straight in English? I think it is. It's like kind of like square-like, which I found a very interesting shape, and I really liked how it would float in the air because it kind of has more of a, it just has a more boyish feeling, I guess, because if it's like nice and pointy, it is still very pretty, but it has more of a, how do you say this? I wouldn't say feminine feeling, but I just think character-wise, for what I was going for, the choppy hair makes more sense in my eyes. I guess that's what I try to explain my my reasoning behind these drawings, but a lot of times it just was me in my pajamas behind my tablet thinking, might as well. That's most of my drawing process all the time. I really wanted to give his little scarf, it's a big scarf, I wouldn't say little. I wanted to give his big scarf stripes because I thought it would be nice centerpiece and has a nice pattern. Always when I don't know what to do, I just throw in a pattern. It always helps. It's always nice. And I gave him some nice stripes, and I really went all autumn on this one. I thought, oh, red, orange, yellow, brown. I feel it. I'm feeling it. So that's what I did. I felt it and I drew it. And that's what happening here. I gave him all the nice colors. His eyes are blue to kind of make him, be noticed a bit better. Pew! All of the time. In most of my designs, I always like to let the eye color come back in a different part of the design. You'll see that in all my designs. Here I didn't. But maybe he has blue pants. Maybe he has a blue belt. You don't see this whole boy. Maybe I will do a full design at one point of some of these boys. Tell me which boy. That's a great question for this video. Which boy would you like to see a full version of? You can also do suggestions for which you like to see in full body for the previous videos, for the next videos, if you watch this at a later point. I love to know. I'm probably gonna ask this more often, so it won't be the last time you hear this from me. Also, looking at the footage, I tried to go for like kind of like a letter type jacket, so I kind of wanted to make it shiny, so that's what I tried to do here. I wouldn't say it's the best thing ever, but I think it communicates what I wanted it to communicate enough for me to be happy with it. Last but not least, his hair. I always do the hair last because I really like doing the hair, so it's kind of like a little treat for myself, That's always the thing with me. First the skin, I will first color the skin, and last I will color the hair. I can do different. It's not like this is like something my brain has to do. It's just, you have habits and you keep them for some reason. Oh, I forgot to. It's not the first time I would forget shading something, so this wasn't very surprising. And now the finishing things just like fly there. You can't see it, but I wanted to put it there just to be sure. Oh, hello everyone watching this amazing video. I'm so happy you're here. I will tell you today about the last two boys I made for Pretty Boytober. Pretty Boytober is when in all October you draw pretty boys according to a prompt list I set up months ago. Even though I was the one hosting it, I guess you could say hosted, I just made the list, honestly. I did not went through and drew all of them. Work got in the way. I really need to draw for my job. And last year I did Pretty Boytober, and when I did it, it actually went pretty great on YouTube. So that like covered my month expenses pretty well. This year, absolutely not. My channel's still kind of struggling after being hidden, blah blah blah. So maybe more about that in another video. Let's now talk about boys. This one is bows. I kind of forgot what it was. It's bows, and I didn't really know what to do with it. Bows can be multiple things. English is a great language. It could be like bowing, like hello, but it can also be with a bow and arrow. That can also be a thing. Or you can go with fabric made one, bows. And I went for that one. And I simply just made a little bit of bows on his back. And I thought this one was actually very boring. I still do. So I tried to spice it up with with a pattern of flowers, because that made it maybe seem a bit more interesting. It didn't really work that well. So I also gave him short hair. In the sketch you could see I first thought about long hair because that's what I think about 24/7, but I finally went for short hair. I'm changing his jaw a bit here. That's a little foreplay for the next character, because that one is like just most of the speed paint is editing there. You'll see it later. Now I'm shading him. And I'm doing some shading on his top. I first did purple like shading, but you can see later on I went to blue, because with bluish colder colors, blue shading works actually much better than purple. I usually go for purple because I find it to be a very nice color, but not for this blue color schemed boy. His highlights are bows, because I'm very creative. Probably my favorite thing about him are his highlights. I try to do different highlights every time, and this time I went for bows because the prompt was bow. Cool, there it is, bows. And then he's done, and now we're going to next one, which the prompt is desperate. And at first I didn't really know what to do, and then I realized, wait, maybe I can do something with a character I already have. So I chose a character I think I draw the most of all my characters. I drew him before in this on this channel. I drew him a lot on all my other social media, but it's the king character, Dande, and he is a king of a kingdom, but he walks away, runs away because he's very paranoid of like assassins or kidnappers and things like that. Things that come with power, So he is sort of panic, blah blah, and then he is so desperate for not to feel that anymore, he runs away and then he cuts off his hair. That's what I wanted to draw. Now you're gonna see me struggle a lot. This sketch here, I don't really think that's how you hold scissors, but then again, the final result is probably also not how you hold scissors. I went for a more desperate, like in panicked expression, but I'm not the best at expression yet. I still try to do more with that because I really like very expressionist faces in art, so I really wanted to try that more. It seems to be a really cool thing to draw. So I wish I could made him a bit more desperate, a little bit more panicked, but that's eventually something else. So yeah, he cuts off his hair, as you can see here. I first do the body, and then the wrap part is on a different layer because that's the hair and the scissors, I guess. I wanted him to first have a very tall hair, long hair, very long hair. I'll show something on screen, like bloop. Here's the screen standing still. Okay, it's back. Whatever. I will show you how he looks like with long hair, and then out of desperation, the prompt, he cuts it off and runs away, and then he has very shaggy, bad unkept hair while sitting on a boat with some pirates, as you do when you walk away. Anyway, I'm doing the line art now, and as I said before, this one is gonna be pretty long. We're not at all at the ending here yet. When Bo's boy, last time, when the line art is almost done, the character is almost done, because the shading on these drawings is not that hard, but for this guy, I had to edit so much because it was just not working. I had so much trouble with this drawing, and I didn't even have to design him because he's already designed. Talking about his design, if you are unaware of him, I talked about this before, but I don't expect A, people to remember shit, or B, to know everything about me, or C, watch all my videos. So it's not bad if you don't know, but I'm gonna tell you if you don't. This guy is inspired, his design is based on a peacock. I find peacocks to be really beautiful royal creatures, so I really wanted to design almost like a whole kingdom around it, where they really appreciate, they really like peacocks and their king. Every single king is always dressed very extraordinary like a peacock, and even though it pretty clashes with his personality, which is pretty kind and normal, I do really like the contrast of that. Also, as you can see, I wanted his nails to be like ragged as well, ragged, so it seems like he bites them out of panic. I also think he would like pull out his hair. I think that's a thing he would do too. He's based on a peacock. His servants are based on peahens, the brown female ones. They're not all female or something. They're just based on the brown lovely birds. I'm trying to change his look a bit here because, again, I want him to be a bit more desperate. But his chin and his neck is pretty narrow, where his skull it's just very broad compared to it, so I will change it later on. I'm trying to do an open mouth more here, again for a more panic look, but I do wish, even though it's better than I had before, I do wish it could have been a bit more panicked, because I really had a scene in my head and I really wanted that to be the thing I drew on paper, but it just didn't work out that much as I wanted to. I don't hate it though. I like how it turned out. Here he has some brown hair, and then we're gonna do his shirt. His shirt, of course, has a peacock pattern. Well, very fakely, but still kind of looks like it. Oh, I thought I was already drawing it. It's not. Oh, now I'm gonna do the editing. Oh, are you ready? It is better, but it does take some long time. What I do is I always have the whole drawing I'm making in one folder, and when you select a folder and not a separate layer, you can edit everything, and everything will be kept on its own layer, but you can move things around at the same time. It's very handy. I do it all the time, and that's what I'm doing now. I edit everything, and then I unhid all the layers, or I hide all the layers, and then I am fixing all the line art. I'm fixing his ear, I'm fixing every hair. I try to put hair everywhere where I am not sure how the normally looks there. It's very handy for hiding stuff you're unsure about. And then his eyes a bit different too. And I think this is the final, this is the final thing I went with. much better in my opinion. It's much more balanced, so I am very happy I did that, but it did take a very long time. I think this guy took me the longest out of every single boy from Pretty Boytober. It's not necessarily the reason I quit. Again, I did it because of work reasons. I had to do different stuff. I had to earn money with other drawings, and then, you know, when the day's finally done, I didn't want to draw even more. I have different hobbies. Oh, look, here's the peacock pattern I was talking about. I was so sure I was drawing it. Even though I'm looking at the screen right now while narrating, I was so sure I was already drawing it when I talked about it. Putting some shading on top. I'm hiding the pattern for a bit just so it isn't distracting while making shading. And of course, a good gold rim, because what is a Looji design without a gold rim? It's beautiful. Shading all that hair. I do think maybe I should have made the hair a bit more straight at the end, like it was really cut instead of like these pointy things, but his hair ends up being more pointy, so it's not very realistic for someone just cutting their hair, but maybe he just is accidentally pretty okay. Oh, now we're gonna do the highlights. Even though I tried to make the highlights a bit like the prompt, here I did crowns because this character is the king. Haha. Wow. So it doesn't have anything to do with being desperate. It does have something to do with the character I'm drawing. Not everything is in crown, but I did like the shape, and it eventually does read as crowns, you know. I'm making some optical illusion on the scissors here. Please ignore it. Coloring the line art and doing some great white lining. I really like the white lining. It really makes it a bit more readable, and especially around the lashes. I always really like doing it there and over his whole little hand. And I'm gonna do sparkles at the crowns. I will forget one. I discovered that way later. I forgot one crown. Maybe that's nothing to you. For me, that's very annoying because that's just how my body decided to be.
Oh, well, that's an abrupt ending. Anyway, Present Looji again. Thank you to my patrons. They're now all on screen. Link to social media and all in the description. Thank you for watching, and bye.